Chosen one, pause right here. This moment isn't random. You didn't find this video, it found you. The very fact that your spirit was drawn to these words means something ancient has awakened within you. Heaven has been preparing this encounter long before you click play. You're standing at the edge of a revelation that will change everything you thought you knew. Your life, your purpose, the delays you've endured are all about to make sense. The seventh seal, it's not just biblical prophecy. It's a spiritual activation happening right now. Real time, and your name is written within it. Stay with me, anointed one. What I'm about to reveal will connect every scattered piece of your journey. Every disappointment that confused you, every door that closed without explanation, every season of waiting that felt endless. It was all preparation. You've been walking through a divine setup disguised as setback. The heavens have been orchestrating something so precise, so perfectly timed. What looked like delay was actually divine alignment. And now, the moment you've been unconsciously preparing for has arrived. Chosen one, let me ask you something. Have you felt it lately? That heaviness in your chest, that restlessness you can't quite explain, that sense of something stirring. You wake up knowing you're meant for more, but the path ahead feels unclear. You've prayed, you've worked, you've waited. Still breakthrough seems just out of reach. People around you are moving forward while you feel stuck, suspended between the promise and the manifestation, caught in a season you don't understand. But this feeling, anointed one, this is not confusion. That feeling isn't confusion, it's construction. Delay you've experienced carried purpose you couldn't see. Every door that closed in your face was heaven's protection. Person who walked away when you needed them most was divine redirection. None of it was random, none of it was punishment. You weren't being overlooked, you were being positioned. The seventh seal represents divine completion in your life. It's the final stage before the breakthrough you've been praying for. The last test before the transfer, the silence before the sound. And if you're hearing this message right now, chosen one, your seal is beginning to open. The spiritual atmosphere around your life is shifting in ways you can sense but can't explain. There's a heaviness mixed with anticipation, combined with peace. This is the signature of heaven moving, the evidence of divine timing aligning. You're not imagining it, you're not being emotional. You're sensing what's happening in the realm of the spirit. The veil between heaven's promise and earth's manifestation is thinning. What was sealed away from your reach is now being released. Listen closely, anointed one. The seventh seal isn't just an ancient text written thousands of years ago. It's a living prophecy that activates in specific seasons for specific people. In the book of Revelation, when the seventh seal was opened, there was silence in heaven. Silence for about half an hour before everything changed. Do you know what that means for you right now? It means before the greatest release, there is sacred stillness. Before heaven moves in power, there is holy pause. Before breakthrough manifests, there is divine anticipation building in the atmosphere. That silence you've been sitting in, chosen one. That season where heaven seemed quiet. Those months or years where your prayers felt like they disappeared into the void. That wasn't abandonment. That was the seventh seal preparing to break, living in that half hour of silence. The stillness before the storm of blessing, the quiet before the roar of breakthrough. But I'm here to tell you something that will shift everything. That silence is ending now. The waiting is completing its purpose. The seal is breaking. What's been held back is about to flood your life. What's been held back is about to be released into your hands. Not slowly, not partially, but suddenly and completely. Heaven doesn't do things halfway when the seal breaks. You're about to experience what I call divine acceleration. Years of waiting collapse into moments of manifestation, where resources you've needed suddenly appear from unexpected sources, where doors you've knocked on for years suddenly swing open with ease. This is the signature of the seventh seal opening. Supernatural speed replacing natural struggle, divine favor replacing human effort. But let me tell you why this prophecy is specifically about you. Carry a mark, not on your skin but in your spirit. It's the mark of endurance, the signature of one refined by fire. The mark of those who've been tested and didn't break under pressure. The mark of faithfulness when everything around you said give up has been watching every moment, recording every tear. Every night you stayed on your knees when your body wanted to quit. Moment you chose faith over fear, obedience over comfort. You thought no one saw, but God did. And He marked you as one who could be trusted. Seventh seal opens specifically for those who've been sealed by suffering, for those who've been sanctified by surrender and proven through persecution. It's not for the comfortable or the casual. It's for the chosen who've walked through the wilderness. For those who came out with their worship still intact. That's you, anointed one. That's why you're hearing this now. Your spirit recognizes these words because heaven is confirming what it placed inside you. The seal over your life is breaking, and your season of hiddenness is ending. Part 2 of the warfare, and the weapon. I need you to understand something crucial. Chosen one. The warfare you faced wasn't random either, it was recognition. The enemy saw your seal before you did, before you understood your calling. That's why the attacks intensified when they did. That's why relationships suddenly shifted without clear explanation. That's why doors you thought were guaranteed slammed shut in your face. That's why your finances felt blocked despite your faithfulness. Even your own mind became a battlefield. The enemy knows what happens when your seal breaks open. He knows the authority you're about to walk in, the influence you're about to carry in the earth. He knows the wealth transfer that's coming to fund your assignment. He knows the healing that will flow through your hands. He knows the words that will come from your mouth. He knows the generations that will be impacted by your obedience. So he fought you at the threshold, right before your breakthrough. He tried to convince you that you missed your moment, that you weren't qualified, weren't ready, weren't chosen after all, that you were too broken to be used, too late to catch up with others, too ordinary to carry anything extraordinary. He reminded you of every failure, every mistake, every shortcoming. He magnified your weaknesses and minimized your faithfulness. He brought up your past to disqualify your future. He used people's words to wound your confidence. He used circumstances to crush your hope. This was strategic warfare, anointed one. Not random attacks, but calculated attempts to stop what heaven was preparing to release. But chosen one, you're still here. You're still standing despite everything. You're still believing when logic said quit. You're still trusting when evidence said give up. You're still worshiping when circumstances said doubt. That means the warfare failed. The enemy's plan backfired. Attack meant to destroy you only deepened your roots. Every storm meant to drown you only taught you how to walk on water. Wilderness meant to kill you only trained you for kingship. The seal is opening anyway, and there's nothing hell can do to stop it. Now let me show you what happens when the seventh seal opens. First, there is a supernatural transfer of resources into your hands. What once required years of striving will suddenly flow with ease. Doors that resisted you will recognize your authority and open automatically. The money you've been praying for, the opportunities you've been preparing for, the connections you've been hoping for, they're not coming slowly anymore, coming suddenly, in clusters, in waves. Heaven is redistributing resources from the hands of the wicked into the hands of the faithful. Faithful in little, proven in the small things. Now, you're about to be trusted with much, promoted to greater stewardship. Money will come from sources you didn't apply to. Opportunities will find you without you searching. Ideas will download into your spirit that carry million-dollar solutions. People with resources will be drawn to your vision. This isn't just about meeting your needs anymore. This is about funding your assignment, resourcing your calling. Heaven is about to show you that, when God backs a vision, provision follows faithfully. But this isn't just about money, anointed one. This is about purpose. Second, the seventh seal releases clarity over your life. That fog you've been walking through, it's lifting right now. The confusion about your next step, ring from your vision. The questions about your calling, they're being answered by heaven. You're going to start seeing with prophetic precision. Eyes that see beyond the natural into the spiritual realm. You'll discern people's intentions before they finish speaking. You'll sense opportunities before they fully appear in your life. you'll know what to touch and what to walk away from. This is the gift of divine discernment, chosen one, and it comes with the breaking of the seal. No more wondering if you're hearing God correctly. No more second guessing every decision you need to make. No more confusion about who belongs in your circle. You'll have a knowing, a spiritual certainty that brings peace. When something is from God, you'll feel rest in your spirit. When something is counterfeit, you'll sense the unease immediately. This discernment will protect you from traps disguised as opportunities, from people disguised as helpers who would derail your assignment. Third, divine acceleration begins operating in your timeline. What took others a decade will take you a year. What took a year will take a month in your life. What took a month will happen in a day through divine intervention. Time itself begins to serve your destiny when the seventh seal opens. You look back 6 months from now and barely recognize your life. The acceleration will be so rapid it will feel supernatural. Because it is supernatural, heaven is redeeming the time. Every year the enemy stole is being restored with compound interest. Delay is being made up with double portion blessing. But here's what you need to know, chosen one. With the opening of the seal comes a new level of responsibility. You're not being blessed just for comfort or personal pleasure. You're being empowered for contribution, equipped for kingdom impact. The wealth isn't just for you, it's for the assignment. The influence isn't for your image, eternal impact. The wisdom isn't to hoard, it's meant to pour out. Heaven is trusting you with overflow because you've proven something. You've proven in the wilderness that you won't waste what He gives, that you'll steward it with integrity and faithfulness. Part 30. The test of authenticity. You gave when you had barely enough to survive yourself. You stayed kind when bitterness tried to take root in your heart. You forgave when you had every right to hold grudges. You praised when you had every reason to panic instead. You served when no one was watching or applauding. You remained faithful when others walked away from their calling. You kept your integrity when compromise would have been easier. Qualify for the transfer, chosen one. Your character has been tested in the fire and you passed. Heaven watched how you handled lack before trusting you with abundance. Now I want to address something critical, anointed one. As this seal breaks, you will face a final test. Distractions will appear that look exactly like destiny at first glance. Counterfeits will show up masquerading as covenant connections. Old connections might resurface with familiar energy, but wrong timing. Opportunities that seem good but lack peace might present themselves. Shortcuts that promise quick results, but compromise your integrity will be offered. This is the enemy's last attempt, his final card to play. To pull you out of position right before your promise manifests. To get you to settle for almost when heaven has abundance. But you'll know what's real and what's counterfeit by one thing. Peace, presence of God's rest in your spirit. If it brings pressure before purpose, it's not from God. If it requires you to shrink, perform, or prove yourself, it's not divine. If it rushes you, confuses you, or feels heavy, walk away. If you have to force it, manipulate it, or convince yourself, it's wrong. The seventh seal doesn't open with chaos, it opens with clarity. Divine opportunities carry peace in your spirit, not panic. They bring rest, not restlessness. Confidence, not confusion. You won't have to chase what's yours by divine design. I remember walking through this exact season myself, chosen one. God had been preparing me for years behind the scenes. And I felt the shift coming, sensed the change in the atmosphere. But right before breakthrough, I was presented with something. What looked like the answer to everything I'd been praying for. It had all the right words, all the right timing on paper, all the right appearance of being the promise fulfilled. But in my spirit, there was no rest, no peace. There was urgency, pressure, and a subtle voice saying something. If you don't take this now, you'll miss your window forever. That's how I knew it wasn't from heaven, anointed one. Doesn't operate through fear of missing out ever. He operates through peace and perfect divine timing. His voice brings clarity, not confusion or pressure. When I walked away from that counterfeit, the real door opened. Within weeks, not years, the true opportunity appeared. And it came with such ease, such overwhelming peace, Such divine confirmation that I knew immediately without question. This is heaven sent. This is what I was waiting for. Peace was unmistakable, the timing was effortless. Everything about it felt like coming home to purpose. The same will happen for you, chosen one. Trust the peace, it's your compass through this season. It's the voice of the Holy Spirit guiding you. When you feel peace, move forward with confidence. When you feel unrest, pause and wait for clarity. Don't let urgency pressure you into premature decisions. Don't let other people's timelines rush your divine process. What's meant for you will wait for you. What's from God won't require you to compromise. Door will open at the right time. And you'll know it's right because your spirit will rest. Now let me tell you what else the seventh seal reveals. Reveals your true identity that's been hidden until now. For years you've been hidden from public view, misunderstood by many, overlooked by people who should have recognized your value. People couldn't quite figure you out, couldn't categorize you easily, because heaven was concealing you until the appointed time arrived. You didn't fit in certain circles because you weren't meant to stay. You felt different because you are different, marked and set apart. You carried a weight others didn't understand or acknowledge, because you were carrying purpose they couldn't see yet. But the seventh seal is heaven's declaration. Your season of hiddenness is over. What was concealed for protection is now being revealed for promotion. What was hidden to preserve is now being unveiled to empower. You're about to be seen without embracing the realities. Not by everyone, but by the right ones. The people who need what you carry will find you. The opportunities aligned with your calling will locate you effortlessly. Resources necessary for your assignment will flow to you. The favor required for your next level will rest upon you. You won't have to chase anymore. Won't have to force doors. You'll simply position yourself in obedience to heaven's leading. And heaven will magnetize what belongs to you. This is what it means to walk under an open heaven. The seal is no longer blocking your access to blessing. The pathway between promise and manifestation is clear now. The transfer is active, the flow has begun. Angels are moving on your behalf in realms you can't see. Divine helpers are being positioned in places you'll soon enter. Resources are being redirected toward your vision right now. This is happening whether you feel it or not. The spiritual realm is moving before the natural reflects it. But chosen one, this revelation comes a requirement from heaven. You must move, you must take action now. Faith without action is dead, just theory without power. Prophecy without obedience is just information, not transformation. You can't sit in revelation and expect manifestation to come. You have to step, you have to move forward. Whatever God has been whispering to you, that persistent idea, that prompting you keep dismissing, that nudge toward something new, it's time to act on it with courage and faith. Start the business, write the book, make the call you've been avoiding. Part 40, the movement and manifestation. Have the conversation that's been on your heart for months. Take the step that requires faith, not certainty. The seventh seal doesn't just bring blessing, it brings boldness. And boldness requires movement, requires you to step before you see, requires faith that acts before evidence appears. This is where most people miss their moment. Chosen one. They receive the word, they feel the shift happening, sense the activation in their spirit, the stirring. But then, they do nothing. They wait instead of walk. Comfortable when heaven is calling them higher. They wait for everything to be perfect first. They wait for all the resources to be in place, question to be answered clearly, for the fear to completely disappear before moving. But heaven doesn't reward waiting when he said move, rewards walking. It rewards obedience before clarity. It rewards those who move in faith before evidence appears. Remember Peter walking on water in the storm. He didn't wait for the storm to calm down first. He stepped out in the middle of it when it was still raging, and the water held him because his obedience activated the miraculous. Your obedience is the key, chosen one. The key that unlocks what the seventh seal is releasing. As we come to the close of this message, anointed one, I want to speak directly to your spirit right now. Chosen one, you've waited long enough, endured enough testing. You've proven enough faithfulness to heaven and to yourself. The season of testing is complete. The refining fire has done its work. The season of transfer has begun. The release has started. The seventh seal over your life is breaking open right now. What's been stored in heaven with your name on it is descending to earth, is manifesting in your timeline. The wait is over. The silence is breaking into sound. You are not too late. You didn't miss your moment. You're not disqualified by past failures or mistakes. Delay was divine timing protecting and preparing you. Every detour was divine design, redirecting your steps. Closed door was heaven saying, "Not that way." The same God who called you into the wilderness is now calling you out with authority and anointing. You're not coming out empty-handed or broken. You're coming out with the spoils of war, with the harvest of your faithfulness, with the fulfillment of the promise. You're emerging refined, tested, approved, and ready for what's next. This is your moment in history, your hour of manifestation. This is your appointed time that heaven has been preparing. The heavens are open above you, no longer brass. The angels are moving on assignment for your sake. Your name is being spoken in rooms you haven't entered yet. Provision is being redirected toward your vision right now. Doors are being unlocked before you even arrive at them. Divine helpers are being positioned along your path. Resources are being released from unexpected sources toward you. That doesn't make sense is being assigned to your name. Everything you need for your next level is in motion right now. So lift your head, anointed one, chosen by heaven. Straighten your shoulders and stand in your authority. The weight you carried wasn't wasted effort or meaningless struggle. It was worship, the offering that moved heaven. And now that worship is becoming manifestation before your eyes. The sacrifice is turning into harvest right on time. Are turning into triumph, the pain into power. The delay is turning into double portion blessing. The wilderness is turning into wealthy place. Is shifting, everything is changing, everything is aligning now. Can you feel it in your spirit right now? If this message resonated in your spirit deeply, chosen one. If you felt heaven speaking directly to you personally, I want you to do something as an act of faith. 888 in the comments below right now. Let that be your agreement with heaven's word. Let that be your declaration that you receive it, that you receive what the seventh seal is releasing over you. And as you type those numbers with intention, speak this over your life with your mouth. I am ready for what heaven is releasing. I am aligned with divine timing and purpose. I receive the transfer that's coming to me now. The seventh seal is open over my life right now, and I walk into everything heaven has prepared for me. I step forward in faith, not in fear. I move in obedience, not in hesitation. I receive with gratitude and steward with integrity. I am chosen, I am sealed, I am sent. The promise is manifesting, the prophecy is unfolding. Heaven is moving and I am ready. Say it with your mouth, believe it in your heart. Write it in the comments, seal it with faith. This is your moment of agreement with what God is doing. This is your yes to heaven's call on your life. Chosen one, this isn't the end of the message. It's the beginning of your new chapter. The prophecy was never just about reading it intellectually. It was about becoming it, living it, embodying it. You are the seventh seal in motion right now. You are the fulfillment heaven has been waiting to reveal. You are the answer to prayers prayed by generations before you. You are the breakthrough that's been held back until now. You are the vessel chosen to carry glory in this generation. The seal is not just over you, it's within you. The prophecy is not just about you. Now go, chosen one, and walk in this truth. Live in this reality that heaven has declared over you. The seal is open. Your season has shifted completely. Your story is just beginning to unfold in ways you cannot imagine. What's coming will exceed what you've been asking for. It will surpass what you've been imagining or dreaming. Because heaven's plans are always bigger than human vision, ways are always higher than our limited understanding. Trust the process, trust the timing, trust the one who called you. The seventh seal prophecy is about you. It's unfolding right now.